All right, well, if you were unaware, I tried out for the North Texas Bulls, which is an upcoming expansion franchise to the AAL, American Arena League.
AAL?
Something like that. In the description, there is my full undercover investigation scoop, undercover journalism scoop, that you can read at your own leisure. Let me know what you think about it. I submitted it to the owner of the team to see if I could possibly do journalistic endeavors within the organization.
It makes your venture sound nefarious, but I know it's not.
Yeah, so you just walked in, you were like, I'm trying out for a position on a team, but like, if that doesn't work out, could I just have a job, please?
It was really funny because they said as he entered, they were like, well, what position are you applying for? He instantly ripped off his clothes and he said every position.
I got them all.
No,
he pulls out the Kama Sutra. You don't know where he pulled it out from, though.
He said hike, hut is my specialty.
So I was sitting in McDonald's within
my X-Mart,
talking to a female that I may or may not had sexual relationships with.
Okay, Clinton.
And it depends what your definition of is.
Oh, Stormy Daniels-en.
Right.
Yeah.
I was talking to Stormy Daniels with inside of
an X-Mart.
With inside of a McDonald's.
That's not how that works. The whole thing is in a McDonald's.
Inside of an
X-Mart.
Inside of a McDonald's. So I'm talking to her, and she's explaining about this person that we may or may not had a three-way with. That he was the offensive coordinator for an arena football team. So, I'm pulling up the information, and I'm like, hey, for $50 I can try out for this team. So, me being the money bags that I am, I decided to go ahead and try out for this team. So it asked me 3 very important questions, right? Number 1, what's my name? So I put it in, as normal, Don Hill. And then
how do you spell that, by the way?
It is DON-HILL.
I keep doing the female way.
DAWN?
Yeah. My bad.
Well, being non-binary, it's okay. The second question is, what position do you want to try out for? And I put, and I quote, Annie, please, for the love of God, I need this, frowny face.
They're not calling you back.
Right. Well, you know why? Because he used the wrong face.
Yeah, I should put smiley face.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like the tongue out, winky face.
Yeah. Wink and then P, capital P, which is the tongue out. Yeah.
How many equals did you put before you put the D?
At least 8. At least 8.
What other attributes do we need to know about you? So I put simply, I am fat.
I thought you should have put simply, I'm an alcoholic.
You should have also put that. Worded that better. You could have been like, I've been doing a lot of bulking up recently. And I am in the perfect position to really put on the muscle now.
Well, you know what? That's called faking it till you make it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wasn't doing that.
I feel like you weren't filling this form out to its fullest potential.
Sounds like Thomas should have filled this form out.
I wish you would have came with me. You would have actually probably done better. Not exercise-wise, but maybe play-wise.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if you didn't know, I'm actually with Papa Thug Nasty.
Hey, it's your boy,
Papa Thug Nasty.
Hey, papi.
I feel like we're going to talk about immigrants anyway.
And we did.
Why did I say that?
Because at the time it was a hot topic and me and you were kind of jiving about it.
You really
was this when that DACA thing was going on?
Yeah, that's when it was going on.
You really need to listen to the past programs.
Yeah, I know.
Did you even listen to the New Year's one that just happened?
No.
Okay.
but I did remember that we had this exact same conversation. It always catches me off guard.
Yeah, and for some reason you're always really willing to pull up immigration shit. What the hell's wrong with you?
We're talking about stuff that you love, like police brutality, immigration, political corruptness.
It's really just good content on YouTube before they started taking it down.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm actually scared of that. I don't think we're big enough, but there's a possibility that we could be taken down.
Every woman said I'm big enough.
We're going back to this chick I cummed in her ass this morning.
She was definitely big enough.
Previous to this podcast. I hope she's not listening. I mean, Thomas,
your ex-girlfriend Thomas?
Yeah, Mike's girlfriend Thomas knows all about last episode when I was talking about how big she was and I had to take blue chews.
No. Even that car agrees.
Thomas was like, man, it must have been a bad breakup. And I am here with El Pollo Loco.
You know what the homies call me in the streets, B? They call me
El Pollo Loco.
I don't know what that shit mean, but that shit sound
Did you show the bottom of your ass cheeks, though? I mean, it's been a while that I've been on here, but happy to be back.
Last time you were on the podcast, we talked about 2020 presidential election.
Right. Dad life has kept me from things, but you know what? Daddy White's back.
So, Thomas, actually, speaking of last episode, as I was editing the episode, the Capitol was being ransacked.
Yeah, by all your friends, right?
You know, one of the guys came into work and was like, hey, I saw your relatives on TV. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, all them fucking white people invading the Capitol. I was like, and you thought it was my people?
So I was talking about the last ditch attempt was the vice president to read the separate slate of electoral voters.
Wait, what do you mean? Was there two groups of electoral voters?
Yeah, how high were you last episode? We had a whole conversation about this.
No, we did not.
We did. I swear, you can listen to it.
Name 5 instances.
At least 5.
You also said name 30 incidents where you talked about racism or something.
Well, we'll get there soon.
But anyway,
we'll hit that number eventually.
You said, and I quote, Dawn might lead you to believe that that is the last resort, but we can always bust out the guillotines.
Shit.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
And as I'm listening to this, as I'm looking at the television at...
they pull out a guillotine?
As they're freaking invading the Capitol, about to attack senators, I'm like, Thomas
Someone
was right.
should have brought a guillotine, but I know they would have, gotten a picture of that dude, put him on a list.
Man, I'm telling you, that whole, Capitol thing is hilarious. I like where they're like, all these politicians talk about not having guns, being protected behind the guy that has the gun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, my only issue with that, this happened, and honestly, in a lot of ways, this is not of the control of who they're trying to blame it on. And this is something I've realized being in corporate America and stuff. Everything that happens, no matter what it is, someone has to be blamed. No matter what. It always has to go back to, it's this one person's fault. When, in actuality, it's probably not. It's just a bunch of dumbass people doing things.
Yeah, they're saying that Trump made an impeachable offense because...
He was telling the Proud Boys to stand by.
Yeah, he was telling the Proud Boys to stand by.
No, here's my issue with that, though. Because they even talked about it. Most analysts were like, well, what's the point of impeaching him? He's literally going to be out of office before you can even get the impeachment process started. Well, but they've literally made it a mission to expedite it.
I can answer
Hold on, can I say what I think it is first? I think it's because if they... formally impeach him, did it not work the last time they tried?
It did not.
It did not work.
Okay, if they're able to formally impeach him, then I don't think he's able to run again.
I think that's what the goal is.
Yeah,
no, honestly, me and my girlfriend have talked about this, yes.
Even if they concede and Biden does take office, then, he might decide to run in 4 years, you know?
Well, that's the thing, though.
He probably will in 2024.
That's what Pelosi and them are trying to stop, but honestly, in 4 years, Pelosi might not even be alive, so I don't know.
Yeah, what I hate is all the representatives that were going to contest the election still did it, but the senators, they decided that they were going to cut ties because people stormed the Capitol. What does people storming the Capitol have to do with the election being rigged? If the election's rigged, it's rigged. People storming the Capitol doesn't change it, but they want to protect the integrity of the election. You got to realize 40% of the country is pissed off because they think that the election was stolen from them. And what's funny is some of the states that voted for Biden, Arizona and Nevada, still think the election was stolen. And even Florida, that was barely Trump, also thinks that the election, was
Well, I mean, I don't know how math works, but if you only got 40% of the votes, maybe you didn't win.
That's also not true, because you can get 10% of the votes in California and get 1% of the vote in every battleground state, and you still lost by a vast majority of the populace, but you won the Electoral College. Just like the 2016, he lost the popular vote, but the Electoral College is what matters.
Ohio or Iowa or something like that. She literally said, she's like, on whatever date, which is Joe Biden's his first actual day in office, she's like, I'm filing, forms of impeachment against him for, the whole Hunter Biden thing and stuff. And it's funny because, I think about it because I'm like, you know what? Good. You know why? Because the Democrats did that shit for 4 fucking years. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the problem that I had. So they spent, billions of dollars for 4 years trying to say that Trump won because of Russian conclusion. And there was no evidence that ever... Conclusion.
All right.
The conclusion of Trump's presidency...
that drink that I had last week?
The conclusion of Trump's presidency was Russian, according to Democrats.
Well, they couldn't believe that he won either of the what.
But yeah, there was no evidence that ever came about.
An entirely separate sentence than what you said earlier. But all right.
You know, there was no evidence that ever came of it, despite 4 separate investigations. But with the 2020 election, there's plenty of evidence. We have plenty of affidavits and other things that we've brought to courts.
But we also
courts don't want to roll on it.
No, this is what got me, is they were like, yeah, we might, like, the impeachment trial is probably going to start after the inauguration. I'm like, then why does it even fucking matter if it's after the inauguration, you goddamn hoes?
You know what I hate? Is that last podcast, it was 40 minutes in before I did my intro, and now we're 10 minutes in before I did my intro.
Damn, it's only been 10 minutes?
Daddy White.
When I roll off the mic, I'm dangerous.
Harder, Daddy.
I don't know, my booty wet now, so whatever y'all want.
What the fuck? Nice.
Yeah. So before we get any farther, if you didn't know, which you probably didn't, the last 2 episodes, we didn't talk about it. Number 1, because I was drunk. Last episode, the New Year's episode, was our season finale for season, 3 or 4, I can't remember.
Yay.
Anyways.
And so is this the premiere of season 5?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, in the description...
So it's not going to feel like back-to-back episodes to anyone but me.
In the description, there was, for the last 2 episodes, there was a poll to vote out your favorite, or to vote for your favorite day of the podcast, which would theoretically vote out the least favorite poll.
Oh.
Okay. So currently, I know this day is safe, but we have a tie for 2 days that didn't get votes that we'll talk about soon. But for this episode, it is a Wacky Whack Wednesday, which used to be a BJ Wednesday before he got voted out.
I think I remember.
Welcome, viewers, to another exciting adventure of
Wacky Whack Wednesdays.
So, there is a secret word, and if you say the secret word, you have to read something on the podcast that is very embarrassing.
Okay, I thought we were talking about the other secret word that gets you canceled.
Oh, man. Don't say it.
That could also be the secret word. We'll just see. Anyways,
I'm going to say it right now.
Written down somewhere, or?
No, but I know what the secret word is. Problem is, I didn't write anything for the embarrassing thing to read today. That's the problem. Hey, viewers, today's secret word is fat. All right.
Oh, and you're going to add it in post. Okay.
You know what it is? It's podcast.
It's not. So last time, Sandy decided to say the secret word and had to read about congolingus of the male anus.
So analingus.
Is that what it's called?
Analingus.
Is this a play on Condoleezza?
Well, cunnilingus is like stimulating the cunt.
Today's secret word is cunt. No, I'm joking.
Oh, man.
Y'all got me. You baited
You baited me.
Bait and switch, damn it.
No, I'm pretty sure this word will be said in the podcast, but we'll see.
Man, if I say it, this is just going to suck.
And we haven't already said it? I feel like we've said a lot.
We have said a lot. Actually, it was funny when he was like, we're only 10 minutes in the podcast. I was like, damn, to me, it was like 40 fucking minutes.
Definitely.
He's looking at hentai apps. I see what you're doing, dude.
John, how drunk are you?
You Futanari world? What is going on here?
Hey, I need to do a more age-appropriate. Why are you on 4chan?
So I'm definitely...
Tryoka.com. What is this?
Dickinmybutt.com?
I'm trying to find something for y'all to read if you say the word.
How about we get to the topic at hand?
Are you talking about me trying out for a football team? Is that what the podcast is about?
Does it have to be? I honestly don't care.
Good. Well, at least in the description, it has my entire synopsis.
Life story. I want to be. I want to be a surface level fan of this show. I want to know 4 references, and I want everything else to go over my head.
Well, one of them is we're going to talk about immigration.
Hey, but what have you been up to, Thomas?
I feel like I was here just a couple of weeks ago and I gave y'all an update. No,
well, I wasn't here, man. Are you still staying woke?
Staying woke?
Yeah, I thought you stayed woke.
I don't know, maybe. You know, I'm almost done with my schooling. I got one more semester.
Bro, are you still in school? It feels like you've been in school for the last 10 years.
I really have.
Do you still work at...
No, I got fired. So, I don't know if I told you the story.
Yeah, I definitely don't know the story.
I put a hole in a wall, and Kent was right there.
So, are you talking about from Double Thumbs Up Kent Tuesday?
Yeah.
It was like COVID shit was just starting to happen. This was March. They're never fair to us in the back room unloading the trucks.
You're right.
The machine gets broken and it's our fault, not because...
Right, because you overloaded the machine. That's what happened.
Because I'm working too hard and the fucking robot can't fucking handle it. Yeah, that's the fucking problem.
I'm the machine!
Okay, Bert Kreischer? You look like Bert Kreischer right now. You got no shirt.
Yep.
I'm feeling stressed out. And I don't understand why we're not getting any fucking hand sanitizers, but we got 5 fucking pallets of those Catholic fucking candles. You know what I mean? So many Catholic candles. Someone ordered these. Did the robot know? Does the robot understand that, like, oh yeah, these idiots in Texas, they're not gonna wash their hands, but they'll buy the Jesus candles.
So they need prayer instead of hand washing.
But, like, that wasn't a big deal. I was just really stressed out. And, like, I looked around, no one was there. And I put my box on the ground. And then I shoved my fist through the wall. And that was all I needed. The problem was fixed.
And like, you felt relieved after this,
I was calm now. And I turn around, and my manager's looking at me right in the eyes. And he's like, what did you do? And I was like, there was a bug on the wall. I killed it. And he didn't believe me.
But this bug was on the wall.
Yeah, it died.
Oh, of
I
course.
got it.
Did he give you a double thumbs up on a Tuesday?
A double thumbs up Tuesday?
Stop! I'm drunk!
He terminated me.
Okay.
Actually, where was this wall at?
Oh, it's just in the back room. You know how...
By the trash compactor?
No, the trash compactor was on the other side, so I was on this side of the
I know
lawn.
exactly right where the doorway was going out this... So where the doorway was going out this way, so you were, like, here.
No. So there's the trucks here.
Right.
Here's the outdoor... No, wait. Here's the outside door.
Was it by the desk or by the
There's no desk over there
they
anymore.
took the desk
I'm
away.
talking about the one where we actually unload the truck.
Okay.
This is bad content. And then every time I go back to, like, buy groceries or something, because I don't do it that often, but I'm hearing someone else tell me, like, hey, dude, sucks what they did to you. I put a hole in that wall the other day. No one caught me, though. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just retarded. I don't know.
Actually, it's funny because how you got fired from that job was how I got fired from my first job. I did kind of the same thing.
You went full Kyle?
I went full Kyle. Manager accused me of something. I was like, nah, that didn't happen.
The drywall, sweating.
So I went, spoke my piece, got mad, 3-piece this door, opened it up, threw it off the hinges, and then this GYA boy was like, hey! And I was like, shut the fuck up. And then I got fired.
That video of that black wrestler just annihilating that door, you know what I'm talking about? In the blue shirt?
Yeah.
And then they reverse it, and he's like, look at this nice man fixing this door. That's how I'm imagining you when you're telling this story.
Yeah.
Speaking of large black men, we should probably talk about the topic, which was me trying out for this football team down to the basics. I didn't want to pay a $33 Uber trip out to this facility.
So you walked?
I did not. Go out
so
to
you scammed the Uber driver?
No. To walk out to this facility that is meant for children, because it's at like the youth center of whatever. I wake my roommate up hours before he has to go to work. It was like, hey, do you want to take me to this center for $15? And my roommate is like, of course. I will take you to this place for $15. So, I go to this place for $15. Unfortunately...
You don't have $15.
No, I do. But it's right before he has to go to work, which is 4 hours before I need to be there. Okay.
So you're showing up at the youth center. Was there anything by the youth center? You couldn't hang out at a Mickey D's?
So yeah, funny thing about that. There's 2 places by the youth center. Okay. There is a Whataburger
and a church
inside of a gas station.
Okay.
And there is a Starbucks, and that's it. So we go to the Starbucks. Because of the Chinese virus, Starbucks is closed down inside.
Oh, and you can't loiter. Sucks to suck.
Yep.
I wonder what Dryman's been doing. That's like all he used to do. Never mind.
And also, it is like 33 degrees outside. So, yeah.
So for 4 hours, you're freezing.
Hold on. Give me a second.
I'm sorry.
So I go across the street from the Starbucks, because they don't even have Wi-Fi on. I checked, there's no Wi-Fi. So I go across the street to this Whataburger inside this gas station. They're closed on Sunday because the owner is religious.
Good for them. This is America. You can do that.
Yeah.
So I asked the gas station management if I can hang out in the Whataburger or if I like get something from the gas station. And they're like, yeah, but according to DFW airport regulations, you can only be in a building for 30 minutes. Like, I'll give you an hour, but after an hour, you have to go. So remember, I'm 4 hours early.
So, like, I feel like it's all cool. You just exit the building, come back in, buy another diet soda, and then you bought yourself another hour.
I don't think that's
right, but you gotta be like at least 5 minutes between, right?
Yeah.
But what I do, I buy my Red Bull, I drink it, I sit there for an hour, I talk to my father on the phone. You know, I exit the building, and I decide, you know what? There's an X-Mart 1.7 miles away. And I'm like, you know what? I can walk 1.7 miles. So I do that. I get about 0.7 miles down the highway when an officer comes up to me.
Because you're suspicious. So suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Were you wearing a hoodie?
He was like, hello, fellow white person.
Yeah, he probably walked away as soon as he saw you.
He was like, hello, fellow white person. Would you like a ride to whatever situation you are trying to go to? Because
Really?
I will establish such a arrangement to get you, a fellow white person, to that place.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I was like,
very
no.
nice.
If you were any other color, they would have shot you, dude.
No,
was
they
like-
would have automatically came out and beat you with a baton and then be like, stop resisting.
I was like,
Sprinkle
no,
some crack
I'm
on
just
him.
trying to waste time until I try out for this football team. He was like, okay, fellow white citizen, I will let you waste time as presented. I will also let every other officer in the area know that you are okay via the radio and you will not be bothered. So, yeah, that happened.
Nice. Good for you for being
Right.
white. Do you think
And-
Anthony passes?
Oh,
Like if
yeah.
Anthony's
I
out there in
pass.
a sick hat?
Yeah. No, I think Anthony passes.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
I wonder if the Hispanic experience is different for someone who looks white.
Yes. Yes, it is. So,
Because I know a lot of people that I wouldn't have known you were Hispanic
Well, here's the
until
thing, so-
you told me or I visited your
right.
home.
So, like my
So I
son.
found his dad.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, my son is about 75% Hispanic. So, I'm half Hispanic. My girlfriend is full Salvadorian. But the boy looks he looks a clone of me. So, he looks fully fucking white.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though.
Like,
And the first thing that comes out of people's mouths is like when my sister was learning Spanish and she used to roll with the Hispanic people, they called her Güera, which is white girl in Spanish.
yeah, I've heard that.
So my son's nickname to his grandparents are Cholon, which is white boy in Salvadorian. So it's Spanish like Salvadorian slang thing. So it's like they do get kind of like a different type of look in life because it's like you go up to them, they'll be like, all right, whatever. And they're like, yeah, well, like I'm Hispanic. They don't fucking believe you. Like, oh, stop fucking lying. Because I didn't have that advantage. I never spoke Spanish. So my son comes out speaking Spanish, they're going to look real confused.
Is your son going to speak Spanish, though? Because
Actually, I think he's going to speak Spanish right now.
I know my roommate, his mother and his baby mama both speak Spanish to him, but his son refuses to speak Spanish. His son only understands Spanish. His mother or the mother of the child speaks to him in Spanish. He responds in English.
Well, here's the thing. So it's like what I know from my girlfriend growing up and actually one of my best friends growing up in high school. Like his parents were from El Salvador and they always spoke Spanish to him. But he almost exclusively refused to speak Spanish till he was like an adult. Because he always thought like the way of the world is if I speak Spanish, they're going to look at me weird.
Yeah.
But if I speak English, they're going to look at me just normal.
Right.
So that's kind of how it was.
Of course, a kid might not make this connection, but you can, like, compartmentalize your life in a way that you can speak Spanglish to your family.
And Spanglish is easy.
I see
Spanglish
that
is
a
easy.
lot, though.
Yeah, Spanglish is easy.
Spanglish is very common.
But here's the thing, though, and especially for a guy, they don't realize like how much advantage in the world you'll get if you actually know Spanish and English. It's
how much
actually
pussy
ridiculous.
you'd get, right?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to say it in that way, but yeah, he's right. How much pussy you would get if you know English and Spanish? Because a very Hispanic girl comes up to you, be like, "Oh, look at this fucking güero," and then all of a sudden you start hitting her with Spanish. She can be like, "Oh, okay, well, this is kind of cool."
See, Tim is going to get some pussy, and then I'm going to get pussy from Tim's mom, or from like the girl's mom. Not saying.
Wait, what?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
No, Tim's going to
who the fuck is Tim?
Your son?
Oh.
Remember that was the name of the podcast?
Tim.
So Tim's going to get some pussy, and then it's going to be from like, some 16-year-old girl, and I'm going to be like 38 at the time. So I'm like, whatever.
Does that math check out?
Actually, no, because I'm going to be 48 at the time.
Yeah.
Well, what age are you talking about?
Like, do you think Tim is going to be 8 years old?
At what age are you checking out at?
I hope so.
Wait, at what age do you think my son is compadre is going to be getting 16-year-old?
Actually, okay, so I'm 25 years old, older than Tim, right?
So let's call him 15.
Yeah, if he's smashing at 15,
you're going to be 40.
Dang.
Boy, I feel old.
So I'm going to be 41.
I'm sorry for ruining your joke, but it's imperative that the math checks out.
Yeah, so I'm going to be 41. He's going to be 15 banging another 15-year-old. But then that other 15-year-old's mom, I'm going to slide in there.
So what if the mom's ugly, though?
Okay.
He'll take one for the team. He's 40.
I would say, you know what? In this world, I'm not saying it exists or anything, but there's something that's small and blue. It might have something to do with Chew.
Oh my god.
And he might be on
this
it.
again. We talked about this last episode.
It was a good story.
It was a good story.
Y'all ever secure that sponsorship? I hear they're giving it away. Like,
I'm giving the episode breathing room. Anyways,
so we don't get canceled.
Let the viewership grow.
Yeah, and the 36 viewers.
You'll be like, hey, we got 40 viewers.
Well, it's growing 1 viewer a year. Calm down.
What's funny is, like, some episodes just get massive views, and I don't have to do nothing. Like the freaking Tomboy Outback, like 400 views. Didn't have to do nothing. It just gets those. And then we have a great New Year's episode, and it's like, you know what? 20 views is fine.
Yeah, that was just a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I need, you gotta start going to those sub apps where the weebs lurk and start, like, advertising there.
Actually, he used to do that. He does that.
Yeah.
He does that.
Hey, you know what?
I feel like y'all aren't, like, where you need to be. Y'all need to go to
here's my thing.
The, like, darker, gayer corners of Tumblr, and, like, I'll throw something up on iFooty.
Well, no, I think where our shortcoming is, we don't really have video, which I do understand is harder, and it is on Daddy White to edit it, so he's not going to do it.
You're not going to do it?
No,
but I actually think that's where we're kind of like the disconnect is. I think if we had video, it might be a little bit better, but who knows?
It won't. Anyways, we never did the intro. Raw edit numbers were at 43 minutes.
Hit the button.
So, remember back in the early days of the sweep, we had musical guests. Everything was cool. Uh-huh. We had like 16-minute intros.
Uh-huh.
Well, I decided to go back in time and kind of like show the early days of the sweep. The fat Mexican upstairs is stomping around.
Bro, he's very fat.
Anyway,
like the wind hit, and then the stomping, and a door creaked. It was like music.
The freaking homeless man jacking off in the corner, man. It's all good shit.
Is he still there?
He's still there.
Okay. So we're gonna play this intro with all this music and everything. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, I want to send a big message of love to my good friends at the Sweet Podcast. Don and Anthony and Sandy, you guys are awesome. I got the chance to meet them, and they are fantastic. So I wanted to just say, God bless the Sweet Podcast. Happy New Year to you guys.
You make my heart skip a beat. Some moments I just cannot believe. 'Cause you are my surfer girl. You are the one who rocks my world.
It's a show about nothing and a podcast about anything.
Good news, fat ass. Now there's the Outback Steakhouse Extreme. Outback Steakhouse Extreme. Punish your toilet.
Sit back and relax as we assault your mind through the wonderful world of YouTube.
Yee, yee, skirt, yee, yee, skirt, skirt, skirt. Roll up, yee, drop that, yee, skirt that, yee, pop that, yee, hey, 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 hey.
You know,
you don't know how many weeks I've listened to that straight.
Did I ever tell y'all, like, I know someone who's on SNL now? He's one of the newer guys, but he's been writing for them for a couple of years, and they finally started putting him in the skits, and now he's like one of the introducing featured guests. Yeah. And so like they go through all the names, you know, and then at the end it's like featuring, and then it's like the newest 2 people on the team, and he's one of them.
You know what's funny is that's actually how a lot of SNL people got their start, like Jimmy Fallon, all them. They wrote at first, and then they started slowly introducing.
Yeah, you really got to pay your dues. Yeah. And he's only been in like a couple of skits. And like whenever they need to like fill a room, they'll throw him in a costume and put him in, or he'll like deliver food at some point, and he'll have like one line.
Well, you're a comedian.
He's paying his dues.
I mean, you're an open mic comedian, right? So I mean, you would know.
I mean, you haven't done it in a while, have you?
Yeah, not in a while
because of COVID. But you've done it, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
I still haven't been to your stand-up routines. But
yeah,
well, here's the thing though. The thing he has naturally over everyone else is Thomas is naturally funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you're the funniest person we have on the podcast. What do you mean no? Like,
don't say nice things. I'm not used to it.
Back to the subject matter. I'm not sure how much is edited, but I'm pretty sure we're very far in the podcast without talking much about the North Texas Bulls. You know, I'm walking to
Xmart,
and I decided to turn back because I'm halfway through and I don't want to walk no more. And
Agreed.
I step in a pool of mud because, you know, at this point, Texas is freaking snowing and everything's wet. And then my gray shoes have mud all over them
like
now.
Like that pussy.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back. So I go back to this center. I walk inside. And I'm like, hey, I know I'm like 2 hours early. But I want to just set for this, you know, football tryout. The woman's like, you know, I'm just going to text the GM of the complex and we'll get it all situated. We can only have so many people in the building at once. Because, you know, COVID. So I'm sitting there watching, you know, high school girls play volleyball, which is great.
Nice.
I'm sitting there and she comes up to me probably about 20 minutes later and was like, hey, you know, football's canceled.
Oh.
So I call my friend. I'm like, hey, they just told me football is canceled. He's like, no. We're at Dr. Whatever's office right now, which is the owner of the football team, which is apparently a pastor of a multi-million-dollar organization.
I believe it.
And
me too.
He's like, no, we're not canceled at all. Just be there. Hey, if you have any issues, just let me know. I was like, oh, well, they're kicking me out. And when they push me outside the door, they lock the door. So I'm pretty sure I can't go back in. But, you know, I'm seeing a lot of very underage, attractive women come outside, you know, in volleyball uniforms. So I'm just going to chill here and watch. And then when you get here, we'll start this football tryout. I'm standing there for like an hour and a half in the freezing cold weather, watching all these young girls come out in volleyball uniforms. So eventually they get here, and I see them walk in, and I was like, hey, you know, what's up? I go in.
I just really hope they told this $1 million preacher, I'm sorry, we canceled it. We canceled it.
You know what? I wish they would. So when I walk in, they're like, oh, no, this is canceled. And they're like, no, it's not canceled. Like, it's still going on. And then the guy's on the walkie-talkie, like he works at Xmart. Like, Marisa, I was told that all events are canceled. Are they canceled? And Marisa's like, no, they're not canceled. And he's like, oh, you know, it's cool. Go ahead. So we walk through like 2 volleyball/basketball courts. Then we go to the back, and there is an arena football turf there. I think arena football is like 80 yards, so it's slightly smaller than an actual football field. It's surrounded by plexiglass, so there's no out of bounds. Well, no, because there would be more hazards.
Viewers.
I go and get my badge. I get my shirt. I put it on. I'm like all ready to try out. I start stretching. The offensive coordinator starts making fun of me. He was like, dang, is Don stretching like he's actually going to do something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stretch because I'm actually going to do something. So I'm looking around. There's a lot of very large and very small black men. There are 3 white men.
Are you one of those white men?
I am.
I thought you were.
There's only 2 other white men.
Yeah. So I look around, and it's very easy to know who is lineman and who is other. So the linemen are all...
Because it's just David and Goliath.
Yeah. The linemen are all 250 pounds or more, and every other person is 180 or less. So I'm like, huh. And if you read the story in the description, I am too small to be a lineman, but I am too big to be any other position.
So you're a betweener.
Yeah, I'm very much.
So you're a normal.
I stand out as a normal person off the street, being 5'11", 220. Like you can look at me and be like, huh. what position does he play? Because he doesn't fit any other thing.
He's not going to be the meat wall.
Yeah.
And he's also not going to fit through the meat wall.
Very much so. So I'm like, okay, so I'm like stretching, trying to do my thing, and then the coach blows the whistle, and we all go to the middle, and the coach has no play. The coach is like, if you're in these plexiglass walls, you jog, or if I ever catch you walking, you're kicked out immediately. I do not tolerate slacking. I'm like,
Yep.
That's intense.
So he's like, I want y'all all to line up in lines of 4. And we're going to start exercises. Me not exercising for football in 9 years, I'm like, wow, this is going to suck.
So he did all this and there was no doctor release for anything.
No. There's you get hurt.
Continue.
Okay. We line up in the lines.
The house is haunted, bro.
Yeah. We start with like jogging, and then we go to lunges, then we go to horses, and then etc. Backpedals. You know, everything that you loved in middle and elementary school gymnastics.
That did not solve the problem.
There we go. That's exactly where it was, isn't it?
But you know what? That's exactly where it wants to be.
So we do all this. I am panting. I am huffing. But, you know, I'm getting through the exercise.
And he did not blow the house down.
Yeah. My form is terrible, but I'm still doing the exercises enough to where the coaches don't blow the whistle at me. Which, they did blow the whistle at other people. So I am better at exercising semi-professional football players.
These dudes were out of high school. Calm down.
Shut up. Don't ever talk to me.
Were they pointing at the big boys, taking a breath?
No, big boy. You
no,
ain't that
actually,
big
it was
boy.
a lot of the smaller people. He was like, I'm sorry for being slow. And he's like, just don't make the same mistake again. I'm like, because, if I can do it, you can do it.
Well, also, you are a fully formed human being, bitch.
Shut up. A 17-year-old is a fully formed.
No, they're not.
Just because I got 9 years on them doesn't mean I'm not going to F their mother like I did that one girl. And all of a sudden, they're like, okay, we're going to start doing time drills. And I'm like, well, this is where it all falls apart. So I'm doing them. And everybody's like, all right, Post. All right, Malone, you got this. Because, I'm Post Malone, of course.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
But guess what? He's all alone.
But I don't do bad. So, I'm getting high fives and I'm getting knuckles from the other guys. Like, yeah, you're doing pretty good, like, for a lineman. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty fast for a lineman.
Look around.
And I do pretty decent. I even take the second attempts because they tell you the second attempts is optional. You can take your first round, but if you think you can be fast, do a second. I just do a second just to see. I'm actually slower on all my seconds.
Of course you are.
Then we start doing practice squads. Let me try quarterback. So I throw the ball very quickly. It is determined that I cannot throw the ball properly enough.
So did you throw the ball too fast, or you just kind of panicked? What happened?
No, I threw the ball twice. Both of them was about a foot off of the receiver.
That's bad.
And they were like gross throws, right? Like they weren't spiraling. The ball was going all over the place.
Yeah.
But like, how much time did you have between the snap though? So it was like snap, hut, and
like a few seconds, but it doesn't matter. My time was or not my time, but my throw was completely off.
Well, like they said, so in the pros, like even 0.2 seconds matter.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's that I was a foot off from my target.
Right, because you're not.
You should be able to throw to a non-moving target.
You're a foot off a non-moving target?
Yes.
No, God.
Hey, I want to see you throw to a non-moving target 60 yards away.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
I don't think you can. We'll find this out.
Let's do it.
No, I can do it,
All right,
yeah.
You and Thomas, I'm going to bring y'all to a field. He pushed me over to the lineman. I'm like, okay. We do a little procedure where the defensive coordinator pushes his foot off the ground, and that's the ball snapping, and then you go and you do the little huddle, like you're going to block an offensive lineman. Okay? Right. We start off with that. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not the worst. Then they start with the switch. Offensive or defense, you're going to pull right, left, or center, depending on if you're going to blitz or not. So we start doing that, and we have another coach on the back end that he's either going to point left or right, and we have to change positions immediately when we pull off the line. So we do that. Again, not terrible. And then we start doing the bag, which is a little like cushion that an offensive or defensive lineman is going to hold, and then we're going to do a two-pronged attack. Okay, so you have two people coming off line, you both tack the same lineman, and then one of y'all go off, tackle the quarterback, halfback, or fullback, depending on what you want to view him as. So I mess up on this like 3 times, right? So I'm not doing so good because I'm a rookie. You know, I'm an amateur. I don't know how to perform all the plays.
Are people still getting picked off?
No, nobody's getting picked off. They're just evaluating you.
Okay.
So I already knew that I wasn't doing the best.
I thought you said they were telling people to leave.
Oh, no. No, everybody could stay. But there was like...
They were just blowing whistles on them.
Yeah, there was one lineman that was like really, really big. Like probably 330. And very, very early on, they were like, bro, like, why are you here? Because he was out of shape. He was out of breath. It was very apparent that he wasn't going to make the team. 40 people tried out, including me, and 7 people made it. Because remember, these are open tryouts. These aren't like scouting.
You didn't make it?
Of course not.
But I honestly do not care. I think I already said
right.
this.
Let's smoke some weed.
So when they got rid of the pad, and they started doing 101 sumo pit style with the linemen, I saw one lineman get up and half of his shirt was ripped off by another. And I knew I did not have the strength to push back these other linemen, nor did I have the durability to get knocked out by one of these linemen. So I decided to chill out for a moment.
Have you never been knocked out? No, you've been knocked out before. You told me.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have a weird time editing all this.
Actually, it's funny. Have you ever been knocked out in your life?
No.
Fucking suck.
I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, nope, never.
The only time I've actually been knocked out was the time that I was playing basketball and I collided heads with someone.
You just headbutted him at super high velocity?
Well, so what happens, I had the basketball, I was driving in, and he kind of was defending, and he his
and so
top
you went
of
up
his
like
head,
this,
no,
and he
the
went
top,
up.
he went defending, and the top of his head hit my temple. And I remember just blank second, it was actually probably half a second, and then the floor was coming very fast. And then I caught myself, I pulled myself up, and then I remember I was dribbling. I missed a dribble, and the basketball hit me in the face because I was fucking out of it. But getting knocked out is weird.
Your lips are really big, bro.
I know.
So wait a minute, you got knocked out?
Did you at least wash your hands before you put your finger in my mouth?
Boy, you got corona and AIDS.
I didn't touch my dick.
So you didn't wash your hands?
No.
You just went to the bathroom?
No.
So hold on, so you got knocked out at the tryouts?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So when I stepped back and I watched them, I was like, not gonna get in there. And I watched the other positions and started doing my, You okay, Thomas?
He started analyzing.
I'm fucking traumatized, dude. What the fuck is your problem?
Bro, don't be traumatized.
Yeah, this is payback for 2 years ago when you ate my chicken sandwich.
I did not
did it. No, you did eat chicken sandwich. I do remember this very clearly.
Yes, very clearly.
No. You ate his chicken sandwich.
You did.
We were like, that's Don chicken sandwich. Like, all right.
I even told Anthony that this was your one pass. Otherwise, I would have fought you physically.
Yeah, because he was talking on the podcast. And you took his chicken sandwich and took a bite of it, and he was like, and he kept talking.
That doesn't sound like me, y'all.
No. It sounds like you exactly.
That had to have been someone else.
No, that was definitely Thomas.
I don't know many people that are 300 pounds, 6 foot tall that would have done this.
I don't. That just really doesn't sound like me.
That really does sound like you.
Okay.
I know about one person in my life that's like that.
That's it. That
His
size.
name might be Thomas.
So yeah, I do this. And this gentleman comes up to me and was like, hey, I've never seen you before, and from the looks of it, you're not a football player. And I'm like, I am not. You are correct, sir, fine gentleman. I am actually a journalist doing an undercover story about...
Wow, so undercover. He didn't even have to ask you.
We talked for a little bit. Come to find out, he is a minister. He introduces me to the owner of the team, which is a pastor.
Well, there's the sheep, and there's the shepherd.
No, stop, you atheist.
And he's the
wolf.
wolf.
That just because you're atheist doesn't mean that he's doing anything wrong. He's preaching the word of God to his people.
Yeah, and you can preach the word of God while acting directly against it, and I think that would make you a wolf.
No, just because he owns a football team doesn't mean he's a wolf.
Yeah, and he's a multi-millionaire. I just don't know too many pastors that have enough money to own a team of anything.
There's a lot. Well, also, this isn't an NFL
wolves,
team.
There are a lot of wolves out there.
Oh, my God.
The wolves that prey on the sheep that want to come across the country line.
We're not making this about immigration.
It's immigration all over again.
I think we're going to talk about immigration, so it's fine.
Actually, sometimes, Thomas, I feel like you're an immigrant.
Anyways, I watched the rest of the teams. I finished my research, and I decided to get out there.
Did you write your report?
I did. It's in the description of the video.
Below.
So what, are you just writing for, like, your own publication, or what?
Well, I'm writing to show that I'm a good writer.
I'm pretty sure the New York Times aren't publishing this.
This fucker, Todd Robertson. Fuck that guy. He's a big bitch.
That's the guy that wrote my Dallas Morning News article.
Yeah, he's a huge asshole.
Hey, man, he thought you were into, like, fucking claw babies.
Like,
he really did.
I don't know what the definition of bigotry
It
is.
actually brought out his PSP. You have this shit saved?
No, I just pulled it up today because I thought there would be a picture of you with it so I could show my dad.
There's not.
And I was like, yeah, he really ran for mayor.
Why did you have to explain all this shit to your dad?
You can always go to Facebook.
My dad thought I was making up shit to get out of watching football with him. But like,
you can always go to...
Bro, your dad's super skeptical.
You can go to facebook.com/Hill4Mayor.
They talk about the guy you run against, and then they say your name. And they say that you understand how government should work, and you don't see it work in a mesquite.
Yeah.
And then it says, there is a problem, though. Hill is 18 years old. Having graduated from John Horn High School just last year, he came to visit us for an interview yesterday dressed in sports coat and tie, blue jeans and tennis shoes. He carried with him a Sony PlayStation Portable, which he set up on our meeting table and used as a reference tool. You can hold it in your hand.
Remember, that used to say PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So he said I set up a PlayStation 3. So yeah, they just replaced PlayStation 3 with PlayStation Portable.
PlayStation Portable, which he set up on our meeting table and used as a reference tool to look up facts and figures. When you go to shake his hand, the immediate instinct is to recoil in astonishment. At his hand extends half-inch long nails protruding from all fingers. There is a danger of puncture wounds. I would not let him hold my balloon, much less kiss my baby. And like, that, like, if you were a female,
they wouldn't mention that at all.
Yeah, there would be no problem with your long ass nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have shown up with them painted, see what they said. All acrylic.
You should have been like, my name is Donna Hill.
I guess we're gonna do a call out.
Bring that ass here, boy. Wow, that ass is amazing. Bruh!
Sponsored by Xmart. Extreme deals and extreme service.
We clapped her cheeks just right.
So I call out the North Texas Bulls. I think y'all should probably hire me to be a journalist. And I can talk about y'all on the podcast and other forms of media. And I can write such great articles like I did in the description of this video.
That's going to work out. You're not getting a call back, dude.
You're never going to get a call back.
So yeah, anybody listening to this, tweet the North Texas Bulls.
You know what I think would help you out? If you just started crying right now.
And I think that if I had this position, that I would be able to pay my bills, and that that my dad wouldn't have lost his leg. My dad that only has one leg would be able to, I'd be able to buy his groceries. All right, let's end this podcast at 1:30. Hopefully it's edited down to like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Arigato gozaimasu. Haben einen guten Tag. Tu madre es pollo. Bye bye.